Hello viewers, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Bettertainment Talk Show. I'm your host, Clerious Chips, and today is quite an interesting episode because we are going to be talking about a very important topic, which is in form of a question which says, why do we have so many single mothers? I'm privileged to have in the house Madam Esperanza, who's going to help me discuss this topic. So, Madam Esperanza, welcome to today's program.
Thank you so much, Clerious.
All right, so anything people should know about you, a little bit of a background about you?
Okay, a little bit of background. Okay, so I'm just a simple person.
Okay.
Yes, unbelievably a single mother of two.
All right.
I think that's why I'm here, so I'm going to go straight to the point. Yes, a single mother of two, and of course a media personality.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, actually, without even wasting much of the time, so we are in a situation where we have so many young ladies, not just young ladies, but women who have children, but apparently those children do not have fathers or father figures around. So that is what we are trying to discuss today. So what do you think is the reason behind that? Why do we have so many single mothers?
Okay, so I think it's a lot to do with. Okay. I'm not really going to say people are being single mothers deliberately because they want to. Okay. I don't think anybody can just wake up, and then become a single mother, boom, just like that. A lot of things are involved. Let's talk about poverty, okay?
Okay,
Those
that is
issues.
That's one of the things. Okay.
That is one of the things. A lot of people want to have a lot of, they want to achieve stuff and all that, but because they are not able to, probably they are not capable. Okay, they find themselves in situations, and in the process, they get pregnant in trying so much to achieve something.
So according to you,
that is the first thing.
That is the first thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Other people are just normal people. They just go into relationships. They've got high hopes things are going to work out. They give in, and boom, they find themselves, in such a situation.
So I've actually picked up one point that you've talked about, and that is poverty. So can we really blame poverty over this issue of people getting pregnant?
We like it, Clerious. We like it. We don't like it.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that are making people do certain things that they don't want to.
Okay.
Because probably they don't have education, okay? They feel like they need to start, being responsible of their families and all that stuff. So meanwhile, the strategy is, I need to work for it so that I get it.
And the better way to work for it is getting pregnant for somebody.
Yes, definitely. Others would have sex with someone, with the intentions that they are going to give me something. Okay, why don't I just get pregnant for this person so that, things, will turn out better. They get me, they marry me, and all those hopes. But then things don't just turn out
Things
like
don't turn out well. Okay,
yeah.
So in this situation, let us try to exclude the issue of rape, because others would say, others end up being single mothers because they were raped.
Those
others
are issues.
End up being single mothers because their husband died. But then we still have situations where, for example, a young lady gets to go out with a man who is married.
Okay.
And then in the process, she ends up being pregnant. And obviously, this man is not going to leave his wife and children just for this young lady who's gotten pregnant for him. So do you think that the blame really don't you think the blame can really be put on these ladies who are ending up pregnant?
I wouldn't judge a lady.
Okay, who are we to judge then?
Both of them. See why I say this, okay? First of all, this man, before even going to approach another woman, he has a woman at home, okay?
All right.
He's got kids. He has a lot of pressure that he feels the wife can't deal with, okay? Then vice versa outlet, all right?
Yeah.
And then in the process, that girl now becomes pregnant. She has her own things, okay? You can't judge someone because they are going out with a married man.
Okay.
You don't know their intentions. You don't know, probably they've been given high hopes that I'm going to leave my wife and I'm going to marry you, to which that is debatable. Yeah, that is debatable. And then a person becomes pregnant, okay?
But then, Esperanza, we are talking about a married man. You know for sure this man that I'm going out with is married.
Yeah.
But then you still end up pregnant for him. would you really blame the man for that?
Okay. They always say that a woman, okay, is the key.
Okay, yeah.
Which is very true. A woman can prevent certain issues from happening.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
at a certain level. All right? But we cannot debate with the fact that we people are just humans. Some things just slip. Come on. Something just slip and then it happens. There is nothing can be done.
Okay.
The question is, what happens when you get pregnant for a married man?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What happens when you get pregnant for a married man who you knew from the very beginning
that this man is
married? Okay?
Yes.
So now that is up to you, the single lady or the single mother, to figure out.
Okay.
That is where the problem comes in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then hearing from some of the interviews that we conducted in the streets, it was found that actually most young ladies, let's try to put it on the young ladies, are ending up pregnant because of their negligence. They just go around sleeping with men, and in the end, they end up being pregnant. So if we try to put it in a category, the biggest percentage is actually that most of the young ladies are just being negligent. Others are alcoholics. They just go in bars and then they end up pregnant. What would you say about that?
I don't think so.
You don't
Personally, no. Clerious, I got pregnant at a very young age. Okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know about clubs.
All right.
I didn't know about negligence, like you call it.
All right.
I thought I was, giving out love. I was giving all that I could. You understand, right? And then in the process, I get pregnant. You can't judge me. Nobody has to judge anybody. To make matters worse, with how the society so far is so much judging the women. The women who are single, of course they feel they're reckless. No, they are promiscuous and stuff like that, okay? I have a second child now.
Yeah.
This is a girl, okay?
A young girl.
Who had a child at first. And had a child. And imagine how the society perceives this girl. Okay?
Yeah. Obviously, they are going to think you've been playing around.
You've been playing around.
The first time,
this is what
it's
you
a
want.
mistake.
Exactly.
And then it happens the second time. Would you blame people for thinking you're being negligent?
What people, wait. When you talk about blaming, there is no need for me to blame anybody about what they think.
Okay.
That is their opinion. What do I think about myself?
Exactly.
I know how I did it. I know what happened for me to be in a situation like that. So there is no way the negativity that people would, put on me, weigh me down. There is just no way.
But would you blame people for thinking you've just been playing around?
I wouldn't. If people are not talking, nothing is happening.
All right.
People have to talk. Okay?
Yeah.
That is the only source of strength. If nobody talks about a certain situation, I'm not going to run away from the fact that it is wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
But how do you handle it when you make a mistake?
It has happened. Okay.
How do you face it?
Yeah. So, not to just cut you short, if we were to bring it to a conclusion, in this situation where we are having a lot of young ladies like yourself having children, I would say outside Boardlock, and then you have children who have no fathers.
Yeah.
Generally, who are we going to blame between a woman and a man? If you were to just give a direct answer, yourself or the person who impregnated you, or generally, who are we going to blame?
I'm sorry, Clerious, I'm blaming none.
None.
Because both of it takes two to tango.
Okay.
In the first place, these two, they met and they had sex and this child is here.
All right.
Okay. Why should I blame the guy for leaving? Okay. Why should I blame the woman for getting pregnant? Okay?
So there is none to blame, actually.
I wouldn't blame anybody. But the problem, Clerious, comes in when one of you fails to take up the responsibility.
Yeah. Before you actually even go to that, so here is the situation. Somebody ends up pregnant, quite okay. And then we are having a situation where most of the children are being neglected, of which these children do not even have anything to do with what happened. So what do you think needs to be done in a case where you have a child outside Boardlock and this guy decides not to marry you? Then what is missing? Why do we...
Okay. it's not a mandate that when someone gets you pregnant, they have to marry you.
Okay.
No, it's not. The society, yes, will claim to say you've impregnated somebody. You marry them, okay? Feelings change as time goes on. What if I'm forced to be with someone at that particular point, and then all of a sudden he becomes violent, he changes, he begins to, play around and all that, okay? So there is just no way. It's not written anywhere that you need to marry someone. What has to be done is co-parenting.
Okay, so that is where it is missing, actually. That is why we are seeing most children being neglected.
What the child needs is both parents to be available.
Yeah.
Okay? You're not together, fine. You've got grudges, okay. Take care of the child that you brought together.
Okay.
That is just, I'm not trying to speak like this, like, okay, I'm just trying to make someone feel better and all that. That is what is happening in my life, okay?
Yeah.
I've said, okay, fine. These things have happened, okay? What has to be done? These kids.
They have to be taken care of.
They always need the presence of the father.
And in a situation where we say this happens between two people, and in the end, a child is brought about, and most cases, guys are not being responsible when it comes to taking care of these children.
Okay.
It's only the women we are seeing struggling with the children. So what do you think needs to be done to help out with such kind of a situation?
I'm going to talk about the first thing that usually we women do that makes people think that baby mamas are dramatic. Okay? Yeah. So the first thing is, you can try to make things, a little bit. Okay, can we work together? If a person, you can't force a donkey to drink water. They always say that, right? So there is no way you can force someone to be responsible. If they are not responsible enough to support their children, what you have to do is that let them be, work hard, and take care of that child. Alone, okay?
Okay.
Definitely, you have to take care of that child now alone because you've done everything, okay?
To bring in the guy. So mostly guys don't just want to come in and help out from your general perspective.
You know what makes guys not to come in, okay? When you break up, they move on.
Yeah.
They've got their girlfriends. Others, they get married, okay?
Yeah.
And they fail to be proud of the child that they had outside wedlock.
Sure.
Okay? So in as much as you don't want your wife to know that you've gone to see the child, you're going to bring drama in that particular home. Okay?
Maybe it's because women get to be dramatic sometimes. Somebody has moved on and all they want is to help the child, and you want to also come in. Because actually I've seen a situation where a guy is willing to be helping out with everything that is needed, but then the baby mama somehow is being overly dramatic.
Probably the baby mama is still, having some feelings or stuff, right? That's what you mean. Yeah, those situations are quite normal. You see, when you have intimacy with someone, okay?
Yeah.
In other spiritual ways, people say those are covenants.
You are somehow connected.
You're somehow connected to the person. It's difficult for some people to move on and just let go.
Okay.
So I wouldn't judge them. But if there is someone who is in that situation, they need to let go. Acceptance is very key.
Okay.
Because in as much as you haven't accepted the fact that this person has left,
moved on,
this person has moved on, they've got someone else, it's going to be easy for you to even develop yourself, for you to be self-reliant. It's going to be a problem. Okay? What you have to do is let go. If a man is willing, give them space. Let them do their job on that child or those kids. Let them do their work and let you do your own.
All right. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And how has it been for you? You are a mother of two, still young, I can say, and you're a mother of two. How is society looking at you, and other ladies who are in your situation?
Okay, with society, I'm going to give you an example. When I got pregnant for my second born, my baby girl, so what happened with people? They would call mom, okay? How is everyone? How is Hope? And then mom is like, is she married? Okay? Why hasn't she gotten married? Okay, those are the demands of the society. I didn't understand that, and I was very traumatized. I didn't even want to look at people or be in a group of young people. You know, I felt a little bit.
You're different from them.
I'm different from these people. Okay, I acted differently from how everybody else acted.
Does that depress you when society looks at you that way?
It depressed me back then.
Okay.
But then I realized I still got this.
Really?
I'm still worth it, and I can even do more.
Okay.
The only thing that
not to just cut you short. What do you think society should do? Because I'm sure it is kind of depressing where everybody's looking down on you, thinking you are a bad person because you are in that situation. What can society do better?
What society has to do is they need to support whatsoever comes in around them. Okay? When a child or when a woman, a lady, a young person gets pregnant, they need to be there to encourage, not to break them down. They've already had enough pain, so there is no way you can go on and on, just put in more salt and vinegar to make it even worse.
Like really bad than it already is.
But I may say this, it's not going to be like that. The key still remains to the person, the victim. Okay? You don't have to have so much expectation from how people should perceive you. It's about you and not about anyone. The problem comes in when we begin to, look for support from people that are not going to help you. People that are going to put you down. You need to support yourself. And sometimes, you know what happens? When you accept who you are and you begin to support yourself, the trauma just goes.
It just goes
You
away.
may tell me, when I watch the Mokfiala, I'll laugh about it and it just, I won't even have time to think about it. Why did he tell me that? No, it's because I've accepted who I am.
And the bad part is it's not everybody who's as strong as you are. And when people turn and come at you like and all that, others get depressed and others end up committing suicide. Others will just get pregnant and then think, okay, how is society going to look at me? Maybe I should just terminate this child, or maybe when the child is born, throw the child. We've heard of such kind of cases. And there are other young ladies who would think, oh, I'm seeing this handsome young man and let me get pregnant for him. Like they see it as a joke. Is it that easy to handle this single mother kind of a situation? Because other young ladies will just be like, I like this guy, I would like to have a child with him, and they do that.
Okay. See, Clerious, you can't solve a situation that you've not seen. You can't do that. So having a mindset to say, let me deliberately do this and get pregnant for him, it means nothing. To a man, you can get pregnant and it still means nothing.
Like it doesn't value it.
Yes, people get married and to a man it still doesn't mean anything. Having a comfort place doesn't mean you should deliberately be doing wrong things.
Okay.
Or what have a mind that, okay, you know what? Let me get pregnant for this guy. You're not looking at the security of the child. You're being selfish.
Okay.
It's about you, not about what the child wants. When this child comes now here on earth, she or he would want to see, who is my dad?
True.
Okay, why is dad not staying with us? And then those questions will start now to what? Traumatize you. Like, you now start pushing things. Now you're forcing things. No, you have to get married. No, you have to marry me. And the guy wasn't into you in the first place.
Ladies nowadays are desperate for marriage. So you'll find that they are easily deceived by these men that come in the name of love and become pregnant, believing that maybe that guy will marry them, but at the end of the day, they get disappointed and they become single mothers.
I think what I can say about this topic is that the reason why abana kashi basangira tubali ama single mothers ngakutuma alorekesha nowadays abana kashi eba likwa tinomba eba 70% eba lesangwa mumabakula kodwa. Find that asendana no mwa oteshi beno kwishiba bakumana fe kubakule kwindwa, and they end up getting pregnant and no ishibana wishwa mwana.
I wouldn't really encourage the person to say, you know what, just get pregnant. I don't do that. Not even with my friends. I've never ever encouraged them to say, you guys.
Maybe they are seeing you are doing okay. It hasn't been difficult for you.
How I can handle a situation is totally different from how another person can handle a situation. There are people who are emotional, I tell you, such that if they could be in my shoes for like 2 minutes, they could immediately commit suicide. So how people handle situations are totally different. So it's not something to envy.
Okay, so what would you say to a young lady out there who is not in your situation yet, but then they think it is an easy thing, like they can handle it? After all, Esperanza has 2 kids and she's still out there and she's okay.
Let them get to that bridge and cross, but then no. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy being a single parent, more especially when you're young.
Yeah.
Your mind, how you think about certain things are totally different. You want to hang out, you can't hang out because
you are having a child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't just do that. It's better they say prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
Prevent yourself from certain things. Don't just be a single mother.
All right. And there is this issue of judging you single mothers who are in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, what would you have to say about people who just say bad things about you, like you're bad people somehow?
Okay, so there is no need for someone to judge a situation that they don't know about.
Okay.
When you don't know a person, like in person, you get to find out what really happens to them. You don't have to. And usually it's the women that are killing other women's, like self-esteem and all that. Because they feel they can't fit in the world. And, these are 2 different people. But, a single woman can achieve as much as a single person, like a single person.
Somebody who doesn't have a child.
Yes, they can do a lot and they can even achieve. So I don't feel there is need for society to be dividing some group of people from others. Yeah.
And from what you have said, I think I don't think there is any. I think there is still hope for somebody who is a single mother. They don't have to think like it's over for them.
And one more thing, when we talk about the people that should be there, let's also talk about the parents or the guardians where these people are coming from. A lot of times when a girl, becomes pregnant, they feel left out. Their families, they begin to abandon them. They can't take them anywhere now.
There is no school for you.
You've decided to have kids. Deal with this life. It's a lot to deal with. I don't need my mother to give me 5,000 or maybe 10,000 to say, you know what, you've gotten pregnant. Here, go. Sometimes people just need that, or maybe a word. It's going to be all right, and that is enough. That is so much support than anything that a person would ever
So, in fact, the stigmatization just starts from the home where somebody's coming from.
It starts from the home. People will begin to judge you right there.
Your parents look at you differently.
They begin to look at you differently. But that shouldn't be the case, okay? Like in my case, I've had support since day one. Not because my mother supports that I should be having, kids at our house, But the thing is, it's because she loves me and she feels I'm still going to do more. One
would think she's encouraging you to have more kids.
Definitely, that is for the society, some group of society to talk and argue about, to say balamsumenisha. And of course, you see, parents, they also feel bad, with how the society looks at them. But then the fact is, in as much as a parent is supporting you, or rather parents and guardians are supporting you, you can do more.
Yeah, sure. And just to conclude, though it's outside what we're discussing, but I would love to ask this question. There are women out there who would think she's stable, she's working, and she has everything, and then she just decides to say, okay, you know what, let me just have a child. I mean, I don't need the support from anybody. I can take care of my child on my own.
Well, yes.
Would you encourage that?
Yes, you don't need support from anybody. What about the child? Okay?
Like, I can take care of the child alone.
It's all right for a person to make such a decision. I don't see any problem with someone saying, I want to have a child. But I see a problem when that child grows up now and says, I need to have a father. I'm going to talk about a girl child, okay?
Yeah.
I get pregnant, I have a girl child. Children usually need their father's love, because that is their first love, okay?
Sure.
So if you prevent your child from having such kind of a life, okay, you prevent them from seeing their father, you're destroying them.
Sure.
They're going to reach, somewhere maybe the age 15, 16, and begin to make very bad decisions and say, after my father was never there,
Yeah, true.
That child will traumatize you yourself and also traumatize themselves.
Very true.
So it's important that whenever, even if you have all that it takes, it's always important that you think about who you are involving in that situation.
Okay, so before we just end, would you say, we've talked about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Is it wrong to be a single mother?
It's not wrong.
There's nothing wrong with being a single mother, right?
There's nothing wrong with being a single mother. Come on. But then it is really, really bad when things don't turn out the way you felt being a single mother. It's because it's not easy. Trust me, I've been there, and the journey so far so good. I may be relaxed a little bit, but I still have a lot of things that I have to deal with.
Sure.
Exactly.
And just in conclusion, what would you say to everybody out there who's watching?
Everybody who is watching, to the single mothers, it's not really necessary for you to be dramatic.
Okay.
It's not necessary for you to be dramatic over support, over what. You need to empower and encourage yourself, and you need to fall in love. Okay, it's always important.
It's not over for you.
It's not over. It's always important when such a situation happens. Forge ahead, girl. Go and hustle. Make money and fall in love. It's always important, love is really important.
Okay.
Yes, and to the people, of course, to the girls who are in relationships, you guys, you really, really need to be careful, okay? You need to prevent yourself from, facing
and I think you deal with issues to do with girl child.
We deal with issues. Okay, there's a program that we talk about that is on sexual gender-based violence.
Yes.
Okay, so all these things that we're talking about, those are one of the things that we're trying to cater.
Yeah, like what to prevent, because we're not saying it's bad to be a single mom, but it's something that should be prevented, because
it's something that has to be prevented, because you don't know how you're going to deal with it when it comes. A problem ila easy, but face it. Okay.
So what are some of the things that can be done to prevent this situation? Because we first of all said child needs a father.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about when people talk about contraception and stuff like that, they just feel, you're trying to do what and teach people, amamoros, yambi. But if you cannot abstain, and if you can't just keep up with abstaining, prevent yourself. The Bible says, my people perish because they have lack of wisdom. You are saying, I can't do this, but yet you just go there and then you just, involve yourself in situations that are weird. So it's always important. Try to protect yourself. If you can't be content that, when I get married and stuff like that, prevent yourself from that.
How do they prevent themselves from that? Just go direct to the point. This can help somebody.
They can use condoms. They can go to clinics and, hospitals. They can give you injections just to prevent you from getting. But of course, the condom is more important because, these things you may just end up contracting other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, viewers, there you have it. This was Esperanza. Any words, anything, as we say goodbye and end today's episode.
Guys, just make sure you watch the video, and then you share it to others so that it can also help, one or two people. And of course, big ups to everyone. I'm grateful for being here. Thank you so much, Clerious and the team.
You're welcome. We'll invite you next time so that we get to discuss other important things that are affecting young people out there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Today we were discussing the issue of single mothers. Hope you've learned something. You can contribute what you think about this topic by commenting in the comment section, as well as sharing this video so that others can get to watch, and let's know what you think about today's topic. For now, I can say goodbye and see you next time.